So, if you've watched my channel before, you know that I really do not like the MacBook Air. Today, I'm going to explain why. So, I believe the term that I use to describe my attitude towards the MacBook Air is irrational hatred. I'll be honest, I stand by that. I really strongly dislike the MacBook Air. So, before we talk about why the MacBook Air is bad, we need to talk about who is buying the MacBook Air. Oh, you done? You leaving? Oh, you're back. Oh god, oh hello. So, for starters, people buying MacBook Airs really aren't interested in performance or specs. So most of the people who are shopping for MacBook Airs are students or writers or people who want something for just browsing the internet. Nothing really too serious. The MacBook Air is essentially an ultrabook. It's not really meant for anything too demanding. These are the kind of people who are shopping on a budget, but clearly not that much of a budget because the MacBook Air is $1,000. So clearly these are people who want a Mac. If they were just trying to find the cheapest ultrabook, there's a ton of PC options that are way cheaper than the MacBook Air. So for the purposes of this video, we're going to stick to MacBooks because clearly if you're buying a $1,000 MacBook Air, you do want to get that Mac OS experience and have a MacBook. But you don't want to spend a ton of money to do that. But here's the thing, the MacBook Air is not a budget computer. It's $1,000 and it doesn't even have a 1080p display. This is not a budget computer. It's very expensive for what you get. Now consider this, the current generation MacBook Air has Broadwell CPUs. Those are very outdated at this point. A new MacBook Air is pretty much a 2015 MacBook Air. It's just manufactured more recently. So, the MacBook Air, not a budget computer. What other options are there? So, the way I see it, $1,000 is a pretty decent amount of money when shopping for a MacBook, especially if you're willing to shop used. So, for example, a 2015 MacBook Pro can be had very easily for under $1,000. These 13-inch Retina MacBook Pros are very, very popular. And you can find them on eBay for $700 or $800 in a base configuration. You can find them on Amazon at a bit of a premium, but perhaps a more convenient sale type. And again, at under $1,000. So instead of buying a new MacBook Air, I would say buy a 2015 MacBook Pro Retina 13-inch. You're going to get similar Broadwell processors, 8GB of RAM, 128GB SSD, but an objectively better design and better display. Now, you might counter that and say, well, if I want to save money, why not buy a used MacBook Air? Specifically, you could buy a 2015 MacBook Air, which is pretty much the same as a new one, for about $600. And to that I say, also no. $600 can get you a 2013 or 2014 Retina MacBook Pro, much like this one right here. And these are pretty great machines. So, first of all, as I said earlier, performance isn't going to be a key factor for people shopping for MacBook Airs. So the difference between this 2013 and a 2015 MacBook Pro in terms of performance aren't going to be noticeable to most people. What they are going to notice is the same great display, the same great build, keyboard, trackpad, and all of that stuff. So what if we compare this MacBook Air to this MacBook Pro? Well, both of these computers have either 4 or 8GB of RAM, they both have 128GB solid-state drives, they both have dual-core U-series processors, they both have the same chiclet keyboard, they have the same trackpad, and they have the same aluminum unibody construction, they both have integrated graphics, and they both have 13-inch displays. However, the MacBook Pro is objectively better. Now, setting aside the performance improvements that you will get with a Retina MacBook Pro, because as I said, those aren't really relevant for a lot of people shopping for these computers, the big ticket items are the display and the build. The MacBook Pro is Slightly smaller in footprint than the MacBook Air, which makes it more compact. It's not really any thicker or heavier, so it's not any less portable. And the display is a million times better. I mean, when you compare a 13-inch Retina display to the MacBook Air's 13-inch display, it's not even close. The MacBook Air is sub 1080p, it's got terrible viewing angles, enormous bezels, and horrible clarity. Meanwhile, the Retina MacBook Pro has a fantastic, bright, crisp, sharp, high-resolution, high-pixel density display, and that is going to make a world of difference for people shopping in this price bracket. While people aren't going to notice the differences in performance when typing in Word, they are absolutely going to notice the difference in screen quality when browsing the internet, when watching Netflix, when doing anything. Okay, so that's why you should buy a used MacBook Pro over a newer used MacBook Air. But for some people, buying new is important. However, there is another reason why the MacBook Air is so popular, and that is convenience. All you need to get a MacBook Air is a credit card and $1,000. You walk into an Apple store and you walk out with a brand new, under warranty MacBook Air. This is the only place where I will concede victory to the MacBook Air. It doesn't really get much easier than that in terms of buying a computer. You don't have to make any choices. You don't have to hunt through eBay listings. All you need is $1,000 and an afternoon to go down to the Apple store. You could do it after work on your way home before you pick up takeout. It's very easy to get your hands on a MacBook Air. However, I still don't think it's worth it. Sure, you could save time in purchasing a MacBook Air new, but is it gonna be worth it? You're gonna have to keep this machine for presumably 4 or 5 years or so. So, in my opinion, it's worth a little bit of extra time, a little bit of extra effort in hunting for a better deal if you're going to keep that for 4 years. I mean, imagine in the year 2022 using a sub-HD laptop display. Even right now, sub-HD is like a big red flag for me. So in 4 or 5 years to be still using really old Core i5s, sub-HD displays, it's just not worth it. I mean, for example, an extra $100 will get you a 2017 MacBook Pro sans Touch Bar from the Apple refurbished store. You can go to Best Buy and you can get an open box 2015 for under $1,000. There's a ton of ways that you can get your hands on a Retina MacBook Pro for under $1,000, and those are going to age so much better than even a brand new MacBook Air. The only thing I can't really argue with is the warranty. It's going to be hard to match, a brand new computer with a warranty for $1,000, especially for a Mac. I mean, you cannot get a new MacBook under $1,000 with a warranty. Refurbished do come with a warranty, so keep that in mind. The 2017 will give you that 1-year warranty, which is really great, but it is a little bit more expensive. The butterfly keyboard is a bit iffy, and it has less real-world ports. So I still think it would make sense to go for a 13-inch Retina MacBook Pro pre-2016 redesign. But anyway, those are my 2 cents. That's why I do not condone shopping for the MacBook Air. It's just worth it, guys, to do a little bit of extra work and get yourself a Retina MacBook Pro. Just do that, please. I beg of you, just do that. Don't buy a MacBook Air. So that'll do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments below whether you think there are other reasons that I missed why the MacBook Air is so popular or why people choose it over older Retina MacBook Pros. But as usual, make sure to follow me on Twitter at LukeMiani. Don't forget to join my subreddit, link is in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Oh my goodness, you won't go away. I'm trying to film a video. What are you... Stop it. You're just getting in the way of everything. What are you doing? You're bumping the tripod, kicking the table. What are you doing? You're still here. How are you not bored? You've been here for like 10 minutes just walking around. What are you doing? What? How are you still not bored? Oh my god.